So Most Wanted here is episode 13 of my Feed the Beast companion series, and this episode we're going to go ahead and flesh out the filtering, show you the colors and the sorting methods I'm going to be using, and then we get the quarry set up. Cool, check this out. I just hooked up to my battery upstairs, just hooked up the sorting machine, so it's kind of power balancing right now, which is kind of weird how Bluetricity does that, but it'll kind of go up and down a little bit, and then it'll eventually balance out. So I just have the wire running straight up the back side of the wall, and it's running up underneath this battery, connecting to the battery, and it's just now getting its power back. I think what it does is it actually it completely empties the battery, and then the sorting machine sends a little bit back, and then it kind of bounces back and forth a little bit. So as soon as this, it now has enough to transmit, but now it's going to start storing inside the battery itself. And the output of this thing is more than enough to run a sorting machine, because I actually ran my sorting machine for a long time. I just filled it up with power and let it run, and my entire testing time I ran through like 5 or 6 quarry, more than that. I ran a bunch of quarries to bedrock on it, and it never came even remotely close to being running out of Bluetricity, so I think we'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and, just for the hell of it, I'm going to top off a couple of batteries. And I'll put a battery inside the sorting machine just to help deal with those times when there's not enough light, of course. Then there'll be light available, or there'll be Bluetricity available in the source of Bluetricity from the battery. So I can let this charge up, and then I'll go ahead and stick it in the sorting machine, and I'll put another battery in before I leave. That way there'll be a fresh battery here, there'll be a fresh battery there. That battery will get used up. I could just come up here and swap it, but I don't expect it to ever really run out of power. It's just, these things are cheap to make. I just figured I would make them anyway. If I get a long, night followed by rain, and it's a ever so slight potential if the quarry is running that we run out of Bluetricity. So that's what the battery's for, really. So yeah. Okay, well, yeah. I forgot you can't just stick batteries inside the sorting machine. It just doesn't do anything when you do that. But I could leave a battery in the bottom half of the machine, of the battery box. So let's wait for this one to top off, and I could throw this underneath, and it will go ahead and use the bottom battery it's going to keep doing that until I have enough stored up. Yeah, it's just pushing everything from one to the other. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put a fresh battery at the bottom, and there'll be a fresh battery at the top. It will go ahead and use the battery in the bottom until it's dead, and I can flip them around. Alright, so to help manage the pipes, well, here's the barrel system. I broke it down into 2 sections now, and the routers are underneath that, and underneath that are buffers. And I think the buffers are really important if you want to manage the buffer, if you want to manage the routers and the network of pipes without worrying about any backflow. I'm sorry, these are not buffers; these are relays. So if you want to handle the network without worrying about, oh well, can this router support as much as I'm throwing at it, and you don't want anything to backfeed through the pipes or the tubes. In this instance, it could be tubes. If you don't want anything to backfeed, then you really need to give it a buffer area where if the router is busy and has stuff in it, then it'll stay in the relay until the router is empty. Meanwhile, say it's all ore, not ore, say it's all cobblestone, and it's busy, putting through a bunch of like gravel, then it'll stack up in here. So you'll be doing stacks instead of individuals. So I think a relay is a really good way of handling those large bursts of materials where maybe the router is having difficulty because the number of types of material that's coming through, not necessarily the amount of material, just the different types. If there's enough different types, then the router will have a difficulty because it won't, it'll have to wait. What's coming through the tube will have to wait until what's inside the router is cleared. So one thing that helps that is just breaking up your output into different routers. That helps. I think Dire Wolf had 4 routers, and if he burst, use the router to clear an inventory real quick, some stuff would still feed back. But I think with 2 routers and a relay, I don't think that would ever happen. On my test world, I did 5 quarries at 100 MJ ticks, and those 5 quarries hit bedrock, and the output was never so much that that the output ended up going backwards. So I have pretty decent confidence that any machine I do ever decide to create, that the combination of the relay and the router, we'll never have to worry about material going backwards through a pipe and end up somewhere it shouldn't. So that's kind of the idea. That's why I created 5 routers. Sorry, that's why I created 5 relays. 2 for these routers, 2 for the item tesseracts, and then 1 is going to be for, well, one's already for the furnace downstairs. So now that all of those are in, I only have 1 left, and that's going to be for the quarry, item tesseract for the quarry, which should never really be an issue, but So now I need to go ahead and create the paints. I need to paint the pipes. Sorry, not the pipes, the tubes. So to paint, what I need are brushes with paint on them. And you take a can of paint and a paintbrush, and then you paint the brush with the thing. And what you need is flax, which I just went to my farm and I gathered a bunch of flax, so I've got plenty of that. And then I harvested some roses after throwing down bone meal. Then I used the minim stone to get some of the other ones I didn't have options for. So I've got at least 8 of each of these different colors, so that's pretty good. I only really need 3, but I figured I'd get a decent variety. Paint cans are tin plates. Tin plates are tin and iron in alloy furnace. I only really need 3 paints, so I only need 4 iron and 2 tin. Oops, that's silver. And I'll just toss that in here. And I'll let that go. This is not necessary. I'm going to have to sort these a bit better. These are chests of stuff that isn't going to be in the barrels. And I have this really minor issue where when I created those blocks of silver and lead, when I broke those blocks up, it created a different item ID for the lead and the silver that came out. So I'll end up using these ingots first before any other ingots. Or what I could potentially do is pulverize and re-smelt them, but that's a lot of MJ wasted just to make it a little easier on myself. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just keep them in a chest, separate, and look to use those first. Alright, so there's 3 cans. Now flaxseed, and then my ink. So that's going to generate one red. I'm going to try to do ones that are easy to replace. So that's one yellow. I don't know why it's pulling out the flaxseed, not replacing it. Okay, and then I don't know, indigo maybe? Sure, why not? Indigo. So these are the three colors I'm going to use for the pipes, and now I need to create the brushes, which is just wool and a stick. And make some more sticks. Now I need to create the wool. Oh, I don't have to create the wool. I think I've got enough wool. Let's see. There we go. I only need 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Ah, that's some wool in there already. Sweet. Alright, so now I just combined the paintbrushes with the paint. So I've got blue here. And you see the little damage value was given to the paintbrushes. I can continue to create new paintbrushes as I don't think they get used, but as I lose them or whatever. So I'll create a small little junk chest of stuff that I'll probably never ever use. Okay, a bunch of extra chests now that I can use for that. Probably use this corner over here, why not? Alright, so I'm not really ever going to use these again, and I'll put the brushes in when I don't need them as well. Alright, so... Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and paint some of these tubes, and then I'll get to configuring the sorting machines and the filters and stuff. Okay, we're back again. Now I've gone ahead and assigned the colors. So as the sorting machine has things pass through it, particularly the red, it's going to be pure ores that are going to need to get processed. Green is going to be kind of an unknown quantity, stuff that's not in the filter. And then everything else that's in the filter will go to yellow. Yellow is that large... Yellow is the larger portion of the barrel network. It consists of about 40 odd barrels, and no, not 40. How many barrels does it consist of? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30 barrels. Okay, so 30 of these inventory items are going to be filtered specifically to go up to yellow. Green is going to be full of stuff that I don't have a use for, and or end up on this side. So all the ingots are going to be processed, so that's fine. But these bottom ones here are also going to be marked green. But I don't want it to end up green. This is where green is going to end up. Green is just a mix of chests that are just purely there to catch whatever the sorting system doesn't, you know, set in the barrels. So this is where everything that doesn't end up in barrels is going to end up going. But I don't want, you know, cobblestone, sand, all that to end up in green. So I have a filter here, and unless the filter, let's see, what I want it to be blue. So unless the filter has one of the items that, for instance, if I put cobblestone in here, then the cobblestone, this will be the first location on the tube network that the cobblestone can go. So cobblestone being marked green, this is a valid location for the cobblestone, and the cobblestone will pass straight through the filter and be given a blue tag, and that blue tag will put it up where we want it to go. But if it's not in the filter If it's not an item that's in the filter, it's not a valid location. So, for instance, if a bee comes through, because the quarry broke a beehive, and a bee's not in the filter, this won't be the first valid location for the bee to go to. So the bee will continue through this restrictor pipe and go straight up through green. So it stays green if it's not in this filter. So this acts like another sorting machine just for a couple of other items that I can't fit into the sorting machine. So the first 2 or 3 rows are going to be for ores to be processed. Those will be red. And then the last rows are going to be marked for yellow, and those would be the rest of the barrel network. The 30 barrels are yellow, and then the green that are ores are items that are supposed to go into barrels will be in this filter, and they'll be marked green. They'll be marked blue, so they do go to the barrels. Everything else that's not in this filter will stay green and come through and go into those chests. So that's pretty much the entire sorting network. What I like most about the setup is not a single timer. The material is going to come out of the item tesseract at whatever rate they go in. They're going to get pushed out through this relay without a timer. So there's no timer involved here. I only wish I had is if the sorting machine didn't require electricity, but it sips electricity so little electricity that those 4 cells in that battery should never become an issue, regardless how much passes through the sorting machine, regardless whether it's raining, whether it's night. Those 2 batteries that are in electricity, worst case, if it does end up getting foobar, then I can just simply swap those batteries out, and it'll instantly get this thing all running again. I don't have a fallback if the sorting machine runs out of power. I really don't have a fallback, purely because of the fact that if a quarry... Okay, so my fallback position purely is OL, because if a quarry decides to continue, transmitting items and there's no place for it to go, then this buffer right here will fill up, because this sorting machine doesn't have any place to go, and then that will cause a backup on the other side of this tesseract, and then the buffer on the relay on the other side will get filled, and then stuff will just start dumping in because the pipes suck. The pipes will leak whatever the quarry is outputting onto the ground. There's really no other way around it. But the chance of that happening is almost almost zilch, because how little the sorting machine actually takes of electricity to run. I just don't expect it to happen. And the entire setup with just a single quarry running, I think these 2 engines will be perfectly fine. I don't want to have to keep these running, but I don't think I'm going to have too much of a choice. I'm just worried about it blowing up these gold pipes. Not pipes, yeah, pipes. I've already had them blow up once, no big deal. Just replace them. They're not super expensive, but I wouldn't want to replace them all the time, or waste the or waste the charcoal. So I'm really going to push, once I get this running, I'll babysit it, and then hopefully I'll get enough mats and move into a point where I can start creating gates. So as soon as I create gates, I can have the gates monitor the inventory of both these machines, and if there's any inventory in these machines, then the engines will run. If there's not, the engines will stop, so I don't have to worry about things blowing up. So that's kind of the idea for the system I have, and that's the way it's going to be until I have an idea of using an what the heck kind of furnace is it? It's not the power furnace, the industrial smelter? Induction smelter. I already have one, but The problem with induction smelter is I need to have a really big quantity of sand available, otherwise the whole system will start backing up. And you know, a pulverizer uses form J-Partic, and a power furnace uses 2. So to be at full speed, I really need to output 6 MJ, where I'm only outputting 4, which means the whole system runs slow. But since it's only going to be hooked up to a single quarry right now, it's no big deal. A induction furnace only runs 4 MJ per tick, so this setup would potentially be more than enough to keep the thing running, or it would be enough, you know. Or I could potentially bring some fuel over and I can run it on fuel, and that's something I might think about doing too. Depending on how big this setup gets, how many more furnaces and stuff I need to hook up, fuel might be the way to go. Let's see how I'm doing, by the way. Alright, that's not bad, I guess. It's really slow. I probably would eventually pick up a refinery if I had a really huge need for the fuel. So I can't see piping the fuel to the quarry. I could potentially make an item, a liquid tesseract to fuel it, and I still might do that. But I'm gonna try to continue along this route first and see how well it works. All right. So I think that's probably going to be it for a while. Yeah, that's my sorting system. I still have to populate the sorting machine, but as soon as I populate the sorting machine and the filter with the inventory that you need to have in order to do the filtering, then it's pretty much done. That'll just be down to building out the quarry and getting the quarry set up to output to the sorting system. All right. Okay. Oh, hold on. What I want to do before I get crazy, either going into the nether or setting up my quarry, that means I'm going to be away from the base. And, you know, these engines, if you're not tended to, or the thing, you know, they could explode. But more so, the combustion engine can explode if it doesn't receive water, and if I leave the area that, you know, there's potential for the water to continue to drain even though the engine's running. So I'm going to create a chunk loader. There we go. I haven't done one of these yet, and I've really needed to do it. And I think I have enough mats for everything. I've got leather. I could do paper. Let's do the book real quick. Book. Gosh, should be at least some leather in here. Come on now. It's gonna be one of these. Okay, those are plans, those are not paper. I can get paper. So yeah, I get paper through this, and is my leather in here? Sweet. Okay. So let's make a book. Make the paper first. It was just 3 paper, right? Okay. 2, 3, and a leather. The book. Okay, let's get cracking here. Obsidian, I need 4. I just got done creating that portal. Do I have enough left over? Eugh. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't need all 13, but okay. It's like so, and then I needed to make 2 diamonds. Okay. Diamonds. Let's see, what else do we need here? The book. Alright, we have an enchantment table. Well, I'm not going to do any enchanting. Alright, ender pearls, that's iron ingots. just need one. Okay, and gold. So I thought it was something like, okay, and voila, chunk loader. Let's shut this down. I've never seen, let's see, ready, show lasers. Show lasers. Go downstairs, make sure it covers it. Okay, just saw the laser behind that hole. I don't see any lasers coming through any of these walls, so I think we're good. I'm going to say we're good. Square, circle. Square seem to be okay. So that's 9 chunks I'm preloading. Let me go up and have a look. Oh wow. Yeah, that's good. It even covers my farm. Not the plant farm, but the animal farm. So they're going to continue to breed for me. Okay, that works, I guess. It's more a temporary location. I just want to get to the nether real quick. Because I want to pick up my portal spawners. Gotta use those for the quarry. Hey, Enderman. Is that where you ended up going? Huh. Okay. So jump through here. Oh wait, no. Let's create one here. Alright, I'll create the other one here. So now that works. So now let me go ahead and pick up this other one. Okay. Just grab this real quick. I'm just going to put it to where I can get to it later. And let me grab this off the wall. I have to go get my drill. Let me stop burning first. Ooh, a little on the close side there. Alright, I had a chest that I dropped with my, here it is. Not there. And not there. Oh god, so annoying. Come on, where could I have left it? Can't believe it's not in this chest. It's not in my inventory. There it is. Alright. It's really annoying you have to break the block that it's hooked up to. Let's break it from this end. Okay, now I gotta put the block back. Open the thing again. Alright. Cool. Alright. Now I have a way of getting back and forth to my quarry when I find out where I'm going to set it up. Cool, huh? Okay, I'll go back when I've found the location. I'm already ready. Okay, here's the site. It's one of these crazy glaciers. So there's a ton of water underneath here, and I'll just use the water as a way to prevent lava from being an issue. But it's kind of a useless biome because there's no trees. There's not anything other than hostile spawns. There's no wildlife or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. So I've got the engines down. I've got the quarry down. I've got hoppers full. The engines are full. I've got the an output for the quarry into a relay into a tesseract. So I'm going to go ahead and start these engines. I'm not bothering doing levers. I'll just do straight up water. Okay. Gonna need an aqueous accumulator. That's gonna be hard to do. I'll have to do it underground. That'll be fine. So let me go ahead and dig. See if I can find something that's not water underneath all of this. That's kind of funny because the water is a positive. Okay. I'll just put it right there maybe, and I'll put it right there. Alright, so I need to quick make myself a way back. Come on, break. I just don't want to break the glass. Not the glass, the water if I don't have to. Alright, so I hate snow. I really do. Alright, so portal spawner number 1 can't be done on ice. Crap. Alright. Okay, here we go. Aqueous accumulator is directly underneath the quarry. It's being piped around the quarry. Hopefully this doesn't become an issue. Hopefully the water stays water, doesn't turn to ice. So it's got water, and I'm just going to tell it to react to the redstone signal. Okay, and now they're both going. It's building the quarry. 64 by 64 quarry. It's going to take forever and a day, but it has loaded the chunks, so I don't have to stay for this. It'll have to nix this big mound of stone. Maybe I'll stay around just to see if there's anything useful here. If not, yeah, because I think it's mostly just going to be water and cobblestone. So, yeah, I think I'm kind of done with this episode. I think it's been about 30 minutes or so. So this is Most Wanted, my Feed the Beast Companion series. This episode, I don't know, something. And this episode we went ahead and finished our sorting machine. I now have all the inventory inside the sorting machine filtered. We showed you how it worked. We went ahead and set up the remote quarry, and the next episode you'll actually get to see the remote quarry output, and then you'll get to see the sorting machine handling that output. It's going to be pretty cool to watch, along with some other cool stuff I might end up doing. So thanks for watching. If this episode was at all entertaining or helpful, please like the video, and if you have any questions, comments, or ideas, then please give me some feedback, please. Alright, thanks.